The Deal News podcast. It's very hard to read on this screen, on this screen here, and look at this camera here. So you're kind of going to get one of these things. The Deal News podcast, episode 225 for August 29th. Apple for the win. I'm joined by Lewis and Dan. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Lewis.
How's it going, video-wise?
Still getting used to the video thing.
Yeah, you seem a little under the weather, video-wise, Dan. You're a little shaky. A little.
You know, with all this bandwidth that I just got from Verizon, it's like 280 billion megabytes a second download and about 3 billion up. It's like you would think that I would have seamless, crystal clear video, but sadly,
I can really tell the difference from last week. Last week you had a tiny window and you were a little blurry. This week you have a large window. You're super sharp, but you're only broadcasting like every fourth frame.
Right, exactly. I'm trying to conserve. I'm going green.
Right. Don't throw out as many frames as you used to. Although seeing my video, I'm not the sharpest video in the drawer either. Lewis's is the only video stream that comes through.
That's because I have no background. That's all.
Oh, right.
Oh, see, there it is. We all need a white background.
Just you need a white background.
You're not trying to render all my pots and pans and things. Yep. All right. So for those of you listening to the audio version of this, that's right. We're still doing video, and we just talked a bit about that, and you don't even care. So sorry about that. All right. Let's move on to the big news of the week, and that is that the Apple and Samsung lawsuit has come to a close.
Right.
What do you think was the outcome from this? Well, some of us know. We all know because we read the story. So
Really read it. It's like it's everywhere. I mean, even mainstream media has been covering this like crazy. I'm shocked at how much mainstream media attention this case has gotten.
yeah.
Now, why do you think it's gotten so much attention?
It's got to be Apple. I mean, you say Apple and everyone perks up. Apple fans, Apple haters, and even people who aren't techie. You know, people who aren't techie know what Apple stands for, and it's just it's an attention getter. It's a complete attention getter.
It's like shouting Snooki in a crowded theater. People don't necessarily know that that's a bad thing, but they know enough that the name instills fear. You know.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I like that your explanation of that, Lewis, mentioned not a thing about Samsung.
Yeah, exactly right.
Honestly, this lawsuit is being watched over so carefully because it is Apple, more so than Samsung. The ruling was Apple was awarded about a $1 billion settlement. Samsung has to pay them a little over $1 billion because it was ruled that Samsung too closely copied both the iPhone design in hardware and some of its software things, if I'm not mistaken. That's correct?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a little bit scary, don't you think?
What, that a rounded angle can be copyrighted and patented?
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
well, I
man.
mean, I would just imagine that this would leave a lot of other companies very scared.
Exactly.
And very on edge and going back through every single thing they've ever done to look for any sort of close similarity.
Right, like, oh, does that look too much like Apple now? Is this too much like Apple? Like, because they have the precedent. That's called a chilling effect. It's when something like this happens and it causes everyone else to kind of give second thoughts to what they're doing. So it could have a knock-on chilling effect in the industry where maybe LG is designing a phone right now, and they're like, "Whoa, it's a rounded rectangle.
Let's cut this one because it's too close. You know, we don't want to bring in another lawsuit." I mean, you know, everyone asks, "How does this affect the consumer?" That's exactly how right there. Because how many smartphones are we now not going to see because of this?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And you know, like I said, people who are developing might take more time to develop it, which means that the cycle for new phones coming out is going to be slightly long, as everyone who's not Apple is reviewing all of their designs and software or whatever, and that's the effect on the consumer. Well, what do you guys? I mean, clearly Samsung. This is not the end of it. I doubt Samsung's even going to wind up paying that full $1 billion or more. What do you guys think? I mean, was it apropos of them to do? I mean, knowing what you know about it, was it enough? Do you think? Did you see the similarities? Is what I'm asking. Is like, are you behind this ruling, or do you think that it's just
I
totally?
personally didn't. I mean, I'm sure you could get 300 attorneys in a room and put two phones on a table, and they would be able to find some similarities somewhere. But I mean, to come up with enough to actually get a judge and jury to, well, I don't want to say convict, but to award, to award, yeah, take them out and hang them. It just, I guess it's the chill down effect. It's like, man, I would be scared to death being one of these other companies now. And I don't know if it's founded or not. I mean, Apple has been in the business of protecting and maybe overprotecting intellectual properties since the get-go. I mean, how many lawsuits do you think total they've filed? I'm sure we could find that number somewhere, like in the hundreds of thousands, maybe. But sure. I don't know. I don't know if it was founded or not, but man, it sure sends a big shot across the bow for any other company out there who's thinking of or currently doing smartphones or tablets or anything else.
Yeah, now I've read that Samsung, this was, it seems like the general consensus is this was only a matter of time for something like this to happen to Samsung, because they are a company that, I don't want to say profiteers on, but they see the current trend and the current innovations, and they tend to jump on them and out-innovate and like push forward their next device based on what's been happening.
But isn't that what every company does to a certain extent? I mean, that's how technology works. Company A invents this thing, right? Then company B sees that, they kind of try to mimic it, and they might add, some extra functionality to it. Then company C comes in, they add it, and it just keeps growing. I mean, it's not a direct copy, but the way technology works to a certain extent is first you have whatever, you have like this, then you have that. I mean, everyone builds off of some sort of base.
Yeah, what's the old saying? It's, if I see so far, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. And, I mean, that's technology to a T. Everyone does tend to leapfrog like that. One of my favorite things cited in this was that Samsung copied the bounce back that the iPhone menus have.
How can you patent that? That's what I want to know. How can you patent the bounce back, and what was the other one? The pinch to zoom. Those two in particular are the ones that's Apple. If you want to use that, you need to pay royalties, or you just can't use it. I mean, seriously?
Yeah. Well, remember when the first Droid came out, and everyone was like, "Well, where's pinch to zoom?" And the response was, "Well, that's an Apple thing. We're not going to use it unless we know we're not getting sued." I wonder if they actually license that these days or not. But anyway, so yeah, this is going to have quite an effect on the future market space, especially to people trying to make phones that look a little too much like the iPhone. I don't know, just follow what Motorola does, and make them kind of thinner and slightly. I don't know if you could tell, but there's it's not exactly a rounded rectangle, because there's this little part right here that's kind of flat. So that's how you get around it.
It's kind of cool what you just did there, because you had like an infinity loop of pictures going through your phone.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
It's
like I was in a Matrix for a minute.
Ooh,
take the blue phone.
Video podcast, everyone. If you want to see, head on over to the Deal News YouTube page for that impressive 2 seconds of video footage, or just keep listening and just imagine something really cool happened.
Or reenact it with sock puppets.
Right. So after winning their court battle, their next steps are what? Lewis?
They want to ban phones in the U.S., particularly Samsung phones. Basically, the Galaxy line, the Galaxy S4G, the T-Mobile phone, the Galaxy S2, AT&T, the S2 Skyrocket, S2 Epic 4G. I mean, there's eight items in total that they want to just basically ban in the U.S.
Well, at least Apple's not overreaching their bounds. These are not all of Samsung's phones.
Right.
Nor are they every other phone on the market.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, what do you guys think? Does that have any legs to it? I mean, is the punitive side where it's going to end? Do you think we're going to get an injunction to stop the actual sale of these devices?
I actually think it might happen because, I
Really?
mean, I was shocked that the jury took Apple's side. This really took Apple's side on everything.
Yeah.
So I don't, it wouldn't shock me if they actually get an injunction on all these phones. I mean, the flip side of it is these are Samsung's phones, like the S2, we're on to the S3 now. But if they could do that to those phones, then what are they going to do to HTC? What are they going to do to LG?
Right.
And where's Google in this? Like, why haven't they really said any? I mean, Google released a statement, but they haven't really, they're a little too calm, I think.
Yeah.
I think Google's just keeping their head down and watching for bullets.
Don't say anything. don't say anything. They won't notice you.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Because a lot of the stuff that they actually said was patented is a lot of software stuff. And a lot of that software stuff is just inherent to, like, it's part of droids.
I mean, it's what happens when you make a modern smartphone device. The software looks very similar, especially when you're basing it off of the iPhone. Android's going to look like it, and so it's a slippery slope. But yeah, Google even said that they were pretty sure that they're clear of all this. Everything that happened here can't happen to them. So we'll see.
Wow.
And if they want to fight anyone, Google's a good one. They have deep pockets as well.
Right.
Yeah, they could probably pay that $1 billion bill if they need to.
Chump change.
Now, here's a question for you. I know that Microsoft, early on when they were debuting the Surface, had a function very similar to the pinch and zoom as Apple did. I'm wondering, obviously we haven't seen full disclosure on the new phones / tablets / phablets / whatever. I'm wondering how or if they are going to revamp that or get rid of it altogether in lieu of this recent ruling.
I don't know. I mean, Android has no plans on removing it that we know of, unless I receive an update and it's like, what happened to my pin? I don't know. Maybe it was just something that they lumped into this since they were going for them anyway, and something they would actually, go after the other companies for.
Right.
I don't know, because I mean, then you would really have to go after all of them for that. But maybe Samsung just had the right collection of patent infringements to go after them.
That's the thing. Is that the next step? Not Apple in this case. Are they going to go after everyone else? Is HTC next on the list? Is LG next on the list? Or is this more of a scare tactic? Just say because like Samsung, everywhere that I've read, Samsung is like the #1 smartphone developer for Android. If anyone was going to get sued, they have the deep pockets to actually fight this. But had this happened to LG, had this happened to HTC, they might have. What happens now? Is Apple going to go after them or not?
Well, either one of two. I could see one of two things happening. Is one is enough of a chilling effect to scare the rest of the handset makers into coming into line and reevaluating their processes, or two, Apple changes their business model to be more of a patent troll type of business model.
Pay me for that.
And goes after everyone. I don't really see them going that way. I think that would maybe make them, I don't know, but they have been so sue-happy in the past. I wanted to say that if they keep going after other handset makers, maybe the public perception of them will slowly change. But, I mean, they've been suing everyone over everything, over names that begin with I.
Right, and not just here, but in other countries too. I mean, they want the bans in Europe, they want the ban in Australia. I mean, they really are going patent-friendly, patent-crazy, And I understand you develop something, you want to protect it, you have every right to. But the thing is, can you patent a rectangle with curves, with whatever?
And the answer is yes. At least
apparently you can.
Yeah, at least until the what do they call? I just used the word earlier. Appeals. Until the appeals come through, you can at least. All right, let's see. Let's move on to another story. This is about hemorrhaging money. We all love listening to music online, but apparently it's not what it's cracked up to be. Fill us in, Lewis.
Yeah, right. I was reading an article not too long ago in the New York Times that dealt with Pandora and Spotify, and they said that although membership is subscribers are up, everything's looking good, they're actually bleeding money because they're paying royalties to all the record labels, and whatever small profits that they are making, they end up losing it in the royalty fees, and it just looks really grim for them. They basically haven't been able to make a profit. They can't, because whatever they make goes right back into the record label's pockets. The royalty fees.
So it says here that Spotify makes, let's see, they pay fees upwards of $229 million, which accounts for 97% of their revenue.
It's insane. 90. I mean, like, who are they working for? They're not for themselves. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Spotify and Pandora basically rely upon investors to keep funding them in order for this to keep going. What I don't understand is what is wrong with the music industry? That's a really big what I don't understand, and has been for years. But the music industry, don't they see this happening and see that people love listening to their music? Wouldn't they look at this and say, I would rather get a little bit less money and have a lot more people listen to it in this league than to essentially charge so much money that these places will close, driving people to piracy.
Back to piracy. Yeah, I think that's what's going to end up happening. This is my own personal prediction, I don't see Spotify and Pandora lasting much longer than a year or so.
Yeah, if nothing changes. Definitely.
Yeah, if nothing changes, I mean, it doesn't look like they could withstand this current model.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, like, when Spotify first of all, it took a while for Spotify to launch in the U.S. Once it first launched, I remember being very whatever, blah, blah, blah. But now I find myself using it less and less. Mm-hmm. The ads got really annoying. I mean, I understand you need ads because you need to make money, but they got just like a little too annoying. During we might do limits on the number of times you can listen to an album and this and that. And I was just like, you know what? It just turned me off. I was like, and I'm not going to pay whatever it was, $9 or $7 a month, because I mean, I just don't want to pay it, basically.
Yeah. Which is interesting. You say that the ads got too annoying because one of the reasons why they do operate at this loss is that they're not selling enough ad space. And that's something that I noticed whenever I listen to Spotify, like every 3 songs or 4 songs they play an ad, but 9 times out of 10 it was like, why not try this on Spotify? Which means that they did not sell that ad space, It wasn't
it was an in-house ad.
In-house ad, yeah. So clearly they're not selling enough ads, and they're being charged way too much for music royalties.
Now, how does it work for, like, say, a radio station? Because I know they don't get off scot-free. They have to pay something, like it's a yearly license fee or something like that. I
believe they do it in the same way that Pandora does. Spotify, they negotiate fees for each of the labels, but Pandora just pays the federal fee, which is, I believe.
Right.
The difference is that people pay a lot more money for ad space on radio stations than they do on Spotify. So I think that's where they make up the difference.
Which is kind of interesting, the fact that Spotify has taken that more direct approach to actually trying to do contracts with each record label, and they're still losing. I mean, look how fast, like, horribly losing money,
Yeah, I wonder how terribly they'd be hemorrhaging money had they not done, like, a per label contract. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Dan, do you use... Oh, go on.
Well, yeah, I do. I use Pandora and Spotify both.
At the same time for stereo?
Yeah, I try to do that. I kind of like that whole wah-wah effect if I get lost.
Right. Makes you a little nauseous sometimes, but it's cool.
It's less than a case of beer, so I figure that it works out good that way. No, actually, I do listen to Spotify probably more than Pandora, only because I like the ability to choose. Like, if I want to sit and listen to Kiss Alive over and over and over and over again, you get in that rut, and I can't. Now, the one thing I do hate, like you were talking about, Lewis, is the commercials, because it's kind of like watching TV and you've got the volume set down, and then when a commercial kicks on, it's like 8 times louder, and it blows you right out of your chair. And I absolutely detest that. That's one of the reasons why I usually keep the volume very low. the one thing I was thinking of while we were having this discussion, there's an acquaintance of mine who is an artist, used to be fairly famous, and then went independent and started releasing his own stuff. So I'm just curious, in a case like his, do they work directly with him as the artist slash songwriter slash record holder and negotiate a per song fee?
Does he appear on Spotify and Pandora?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So that's where I was thinking. I wonder what it breaks down. I'm sure it's not a flat fee across the board that everybody wants to get as much of the pie as they can, but yeah, I was just thinking, man, if I was an independent songwriter and I wanted to get my album up on Spotify and get paid per listen or per song or per whatever it is, I wonder how that is and what the actual hemorrhage money looks like.
I mean, there must be a different system set up for independent artists. I mean, all of this is basically, I mean, the article was talking about, like big record labels. There must be something different in place for independent artists, and you probably wind up as an independent artist approaching them, and I wonder if you wind up having to pay them in order to play.
Right. It's like pay to play.
Yeah. How broken could this get? Yeah, that's really the question. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to look into it. You should ask your friend. And,
I think I will. I was just thinking about that while we were having that discussion. That would be very interesting to get facts and figures.
Maybe there's like a consortium of independent artists that he's joined that like negotiates on all of their behalfs. I could see that as well.
I could see that too.
Yeah, I think that
would make more sense. I would think.
Because Spotify doesn't want to have to deal with every single artist that crops up. It's like, oh, I made this song in my garage. Play it. Oh, okay, here's our standard contract. You get nothing. So
interesting.
But yeah, are you guys gonna continue to? I stopped using both Pandora and Spotify. I'll probably pick up using them again around the holidays when I can just throw on Pandora's, holiday.
Holiday mix, holiday station,
Christmas music channel.
Yeah, just let that go, or even like the classical music channel, just for those long nights that we have to do deals.
Oh yeah, that's coming up soon too.
Yeah, I think that's the only time of year I use it. So if it could stick around, please, for that 1 month I do use it, that would be great. I would thank you very much.
Now, neither of you guys obviously pay the premium fee for any of that. I know Jim did for a while. Or still does, I'm not sure.
He probably still does. I think he finds it worthwhile just to pay it to get to play whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Because Spotify, you're limited now, right, to however many number of plays for... right, if you can only listen to an album all the way through like a couple times before...
Right. I believe so, yeah.
Really? I have never had that happen to me. I was on a Dead Can Dance Jag for about a month and a half before I saw him in concert, and I was playing pretty much, I'd start at the first album and go all the way through multiple times. So
maybe that's something that they took back then, because I remember a good couple weeks ago, months ago, they did say that was going to happen. Maybe they took that. Maybe there was enough public outcry that they took that back.
They backed off. Maybe.
Yeah, because I've never experienced any of that, and I get in a zone, where you're playing something over and over and over, and it's just background music, and I pay attention to it. But I was sitting there when you said that, going, "Well, I've never run into."
That's
after
interesting,
5 or
man.
10 album plays, they've never said, "You have exceeded your limit."
Huh. Well, that's good to know, because I've kind of been treating Spotify like so delicately. Like I really have to want to listen to an album before I go to Spotify, because I'm like, I only have a couple listens of it. Better make them count,
I may have spoiled this for everyone else now.
Everyone's going to go to Spotify. It stops me.
Spotify implements the Leadbetter law.
That's right. It would be the first time.
Stops multiple plays from happening. All right, let's see. Our next story that I think we should cover here is it's a couple quick little bits when taken together might mean something, or they might not. Who knows? Amazon is holding a press event on September 6th. Ooh. Couple that with the fact that when you go to Amazon right now, the Kindle Touch, both the Wi-Fi and the 3G version, are out of stock. Ooh. What does it mean? So what do you guys think? What does it mean?
Refresh of everything. New Kindles, new Fire, everything's brand new.
Fire
Clean
sale.
slate.
Oh, they're
Clean slate.
burning it all down, starting it all over. Yeah, I mean the weird thing is that the other Kindles, the e-ink Kindles, like the one with the keyboard, those are still available. It's just the touch ones that are not. So I don't know. Are they refreshing the touch only line?
Color Kindle? I mean, they have been talking about color e-ink for a while.
You think is it finally time for the color Kindle? How much would that be? I thought color e-ink is still prohibitive, isn't it?
I believe so, but I mean, someone's gonna have to do it, you know.
Yeah. How much would you pay for a color e-ink Kindle?
Touch?
Yeah. I see. I would say that the panel itself would be so cost prohibitive that it's going to have very little bells and whistles in it.
Well, it's got to be under $199 because $199 is the Fire. $199 is the Fire, and it can't be pricier than the Kindle Fire because then just get a Kindle Fire, you know.
That's a sweet spot. I think is right under the $200 mark.
Yeah, but can they with color e-ink? I don't know. I was going to say $399, and it was going to be, you know, yeah, it's gonna be like one of those show-off products where it's like we know no one's going to really buy these, but we'll make 500 of them and sell them to people who want them, and maybe it'll get interest in color e-ink out there. Though I don't know if you do have the Kindle Fire for color, why?
What would be the
Exactly.
maybe I'm being dumb here, but what is the benefit of color e-ink?
No, Dan, I'm being dumb. There's no benefit to color e-ink.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking if I'm reading a Stephen King book, it's pretty much all black and white anyway. So it's like, why do I want color unless they every time he says blood, it's in red or something?
But it would be a black made up of all the other colors rather than just black.
All the colors of the rainbow.
Right. Yeah, I mean, what do you really need color e-ink for? And is the benefits of color e-ink outweigh the negatives of having, say, a color LCD screen? I don't know. For the majority of people, me included, no. At one point, it was cool to think like, oh, you could read it. It'll look like a newspaper. It'll have like printed photos in it, like USA Today does, the most popular paper. But yeah, that's my answer. I just kind of shrug and make noises.
Well, maybe what Amazon should do is just wait till Google implements color e-ink, and then nobody will care, and then they'll go, oh, okay, we can transfer this money elsewhere.
See, I think that at this point, if they're still investigating color e-ink, I mean, it's a really interesting technology, but I don't think it will ever, especially with the, like you were saying, $199 tablets are out there. With the cheapness of those, I don't know if a color e-ink could compete. I don't know if it has a big enough market willing to buy it because it's going to have to come out at a premium price.
Right.
And if it doesn't come out at a premium price and people don't start paying for it at a premium price, they're not going to be able to research and develop the next version that's cheaper. So it's never going to gain traction that way.
They got to take a hit, I think, because for me at least, I think Kindle, and I think under $100.
Yeah.
Or just slightly above 100. I mean, like they've got that so perfectly that for them to come out with like a color, let's say $299, would be like, whoa, hold on here, no, I'm not paying $299 for a color Kindle. You know, I'll just buy your Fire for $199,
Exactly.
and even if the new Fire is $299, I'll buy the old Fire for $199.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think it's ever gonna.
What else could they do to improve on the Kindle? I mean, new Kindles are coming out, but
it'll be touchier.
It'll be touchier.
Touchier touch. I don't know. Maybe the new Touch is going to have that backlight that the Barnes & Noble Nook has currently on it.
Maybe it'll be 4G. Who knows?
Yes, you can get your book
free.
super fast. Yeah.
Pinch to zoom.
Well, that is a real rumor. Is that they're saying that the next Kindle is going to be free. I don't know if they mean e-ink or tablet, but free with Prime subscription. I think we talked about this a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Otherwise, doesn't that just mean that I've pre-ordered my Kindle 3 years ago and I signed up for Prime? I'm just waiting. I'm here. I'm here most days.
Well, so what do you think, Jeff? I mean, what do you make of this all Kindles out of stock Amazon press conference?
Well, I mean, the only Kindles that are out of stock are the touches, so they must be updating the touches in some way. I think that the e-ink one that they have with the keyboard on the bottom is good for what it is. You know, it's a strong product. It's the one I have. That's why I like it so much. That's why I'm defending it. The touch, I don't know, maybe a backlight, maybe slightly faster processor, maybe slightly better e-ink technology in it, but I don't think we're going to see anything that revolutionary.
Right.
From that sector. But I do think that even though the Kindles have not sold out on their site, I mean, there's been so many rumors about the Kindle Fire. Sorry, the Kindle Fire isn't sold out on Amazon. There have been so many rumors saying that something's going to happen with that I think an eventuality that they update the Fire. So
well, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist.
Do it.
But I'm thinking
there's a second Kindle on Grassy Knoll.
Yeah, I think Amazon lost a secret lawsuit to Apple and had to surrender all the touches. So that's
they're
why
currently being shipped off to Cupertino, where they will be destroyed with mallets.
Right, in Area I-51 or something.
Right. Very well designed mallets. But yeah, I don't know. Something's coming. I don't know. Is it worth speculating on? I don't know. Is it worth telling people not to buy a Kindle or a Kindle Fire for the next, how many weeks? 1 week?
2 weeks. Week, yeah.
2 weeks?
Sure, you can hold off for a week.
Yeah, don't buy Kindle.
Yeah, pick up a book.
Right, exactly. In the long run, you'll save money. Or go to the library. Just get a book from the library, and it'll take you a week to read it, and by that time, whatever new Kindles are going to come out are going to come out. I mean, they're going to talk about the Kindles, right? I mean, there's
That should be Amazon smartphone.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
Right. That is a rumor.
That is a rumor. And technically, they didn't say it's a Kindle event, I don't think. They just said they're holding a press event.
Oh, no. This would be the worst thing ever.
Wow.
Okay, so don't buy a Kindle. If it turns out to be an Amazon phone, don't buy the Amazon phone. And then go and buy whatever Kindle or Kindle Fire you are going to get. All right, I think we did some good work here, guys.
I think we have. Our job here is finished.
All right, I'm going to get going, so thank you guys for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Jeff.
Anytime. Listeners, for links to today's stories, Twitter feeds, blog links, and more, head over to our show notes page. Also, feel free to send us feedback to podcast@dealnews.com. And would it kill you to go to iTunes or your pod store of choice and give us a 5-star review? No, it wouldn't. So thank you in advance for rating us so highly. I would tip my hat, but I'm not wearing one. Oh, and you can also give if you're watching the video edition, you can give the video a thumbs up. I think it's like right there, right? I think isn't that where the thumbs up is? I don't know. I think this might be backwards, or it's either over here or over there on YouTube. So just click that one. It looks like this. Just click that thing. All right, thanks guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
I have to do my standard signature, don't I?
Go ahead. I'll wait here.
I'm Somogyi. Goodbye.